I'm Stella, I'm 30, and the night my mother told me, we only invited you out of pity. Don't get too comfortable here for long, I just smirked. Because what she didn't know was that everything in that beautiful dining room, the crystal chandelier, the polished oak table, even the house itself was hanging by a thread I was about to cut. Everyone thought I was the failure of the family, the desperate daughter crawling back for scraps. But the truth? I wasn't there to be welcomed. I was there to watch everything they built on my pain quietly fall apart. And if you had met me 5 years ago, you would have thought I had the perfect life. I was the dutiful daughter, the good girl, the one who always helped my mom, Caroline, in the kitchen, who tutored my younger brother, Ethan, through high school, who put her own dreams on hold because family comes first, at least. That's what they told me right up until the day they decided I didn't count as family anymore. It started with Adam. Adam was my boyfriend all through college. We were that couple everyone thought would get married, the Stella and Adam people mentioned in one breath. He had that easy charm, dirty blonde hair, and that crooked smile that made baristas add extra whipped cream to his coffee. My best friend, Lily, used to joke, if you don't marry him, I will. We would laugh. I didn't know how close that joke would cut later. Back then, I still lived at home while working 2 jobs, one at a bookstore during the day and waitressing at night, trying to save for grad school. My parents said they were proud of me, but they also loved to remind me that my younger brother Ethan was the real hope of the family. He's the one with the big future, my mom would say as she stirred sauce at the stove. You're responsible, but he's brilliant. I'd smile and nod, pretending it didn't sting. My dad, Michael, would clap me on the shoulder. You know we can't help with tuition, right? Everything's going into Ethan's college fund. You're strong. You'll figure it out. I did figure it out. I always did. The first crack in my perfect world appeared on a rainy Thursday. I'd finished my shift at the restaurant early and decided to surprise Adam. He lived about 20 minutes away, close enough that I knew which windows were his. By the way the lamplight spilled out, I remember the way my heart fluttered as I climbed the stairs to his apartment. I was tired. My feet were aching, but thinking about curling up with him made it worth it. His door was unlocked. That was weird. Adam? I called softly, pushing the door open. I heard laughter. A woman's laugh. Familiar somehow. My brain tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a movie. Maybe his sister had come over. Maybe then I saw them. Adam on the couch, bare-chested, his hands tangled in the hair of the woman on top of him, Lily, my best friend. Time didn't just slow, it collapsed. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might throw up. They didn't notice me at first. They were too busy. Adam, I croaked. He froze. Lily turned her head, her hair falling across her face. Her eyes met mine, wide and guilty. Stella, she gasped, scrambling off him, grabbing for the blanket. It's not what it looks like. Oh, shut up, I whispered, my voice shaking. Adam grabbed his shirt. Stell, listen, we were going to tell you. It just happened. It just happened, I repeated, numb. You tripped and fell into my boyfriend? Lily's eyes filled with tears. We didn't mean for this to happen. We just connected. The word connected made me want to scream. I didn't. I just turned around and walked out. I expected my parents to be furious on my behalf. I expected my mother to pull me into one of her strong, perfumed hugs and say, who do they think they are? No one treats my daughter like that. Instead, when I told them what happened, my mom frowned at me. Well, she said slowly, I always thought Adam and Lily had chemistry. I stared at her. Excuse me? She shrugged, wiping her hands on a dish towel. Honey, it's not the end of the world. You're strong. You'll move on. Besides, Lily comes from a really good family. Maybe this is just how things were meant to be. My dad cleared his throat. No need to make drama out of it, Stella. You're 25, not 15. Breakups happen. It wasn't just a breakup, I snapped. They cheated on me. My boyfriend and my best friend. My mom sighed. Don't be so dramatic. Dramatic. That word burned itself into my bones. Things spiraled after that. It wasn't just Adam and Lily. It was like the universe had received a memo labeled, let's ruin Stella. Lily started dating Adam officially 2 months later. They posted pictures on social media smiling at restaurants, at the lake, at concerts. And my parents? They still invited them over. I remember coming home one Sunday, and there they were at our dining table. Lily, sitting where I usually sat. My mom setting down a plate of roast chicken in front of her like she was the golden child. What is she doing here? I asked coldly. My mom shot me a warning. Look, don't be rude. Lily's practically family. She slept with my boyfriend, I said, my voice rising. Adam shifted awkwardly in his chair. We wanted to talk to you, Stell, I laughed bitterly. Did you though? My dad's jaw tightened. Enough. Sit down and eat or go to your room. Like I was a misbehaving child, I went to my room. And I cried quietly into my pillow, where no one would have to deal with my drama. The final blow came a year later. I had still been saving for grad school, slowly, stubbornly. But one evening, I overheard my parents talking in the kitchen. We'll just have to use the money from that account, my mom said. My ears perked up. That account? The one I'd been putting money into for years? The one in Stella's name? My dad asked. We set it up, my mom replied. We're her parents. And Ethan needs it more. His acceptance letter from that private program was a miracle. She'll understand. She doesn't really need grad school for what she does. The next day, I checked the balance. Almost empty. My money, gone. When I confronted my parents, my mom folded her arms. We did what's best for the family, she said flatly. You're already working. You'll be fine. This is Ethan's chance to be someone. To be someone? I echoed. What does that make me? My dad shrugged. You know what we mean. Don't twist our words. I packed my bags that night. You're overreacting. My mom snapped as I zipped up my suitcase. Oh, I'm just being dramatic, right? I said, my voice echoing in the half-empty room. Don't worry. I'll get out of your way so the star child and his genius future can breathe. I moved out with $500 to my name, a broken heart, and a burning vow inside my chest. I would never need anything from them again. Fast forward 5 years, I'd moved to another city. I worked my way up in a small marketing agency, freelanced at night, and slowly built a solid career. I found people who appreciated me. I went to therapy. I learned what boundaries were, and eventually, I stopped checking Adam and Lily's socials. I thought I was over it all. Then my phone buzzed one afternoon. Unknown number. Hello? I answered. Stella? It's your mother. Hearing her voice after so long was like biting into something sweet and finding glass. Oh, I said. Hi. She didn't bother with small talk. Your brother is getting engaged. We're having a big dinner at the house to celebrate this weekend. You should come. I let out a small, disbelieving laugh. After 5 years of almost nothing. That's sudden. Well, we thought it would be nice, she said. We're inviting family and close friends, like Adam and Lily. I asked sharply. There was a pause. Don't start, Stella, my mom said, her tone turning icy. You're still holding on to that? It's been years. Do they know I'd be there? I asked. If you come, just be polite, she replied. We're only inviting you out of pity, to be honest. We know things didn't go the way you planned, but don't stay long. We don't want any drama. There it was again. Drama, pity. Something inside me went completely still. I see, I said calmly. So you'll come? She asked. I smiled to myself. Oh, I'll come, because what she didn't know was that I wasn't the same Stella who left 5 years ago, crying into a duffel bag. And I wasn't arriving empty-handed. Here's something I haven't told you yet. My work in marketing didn't stay small. 2 years ago, I started my own agency focusing on reputation management and digital strategy. I'd gotten pretty good at quietly researching people, digging into public records, following paper trails. Not illegally, but thoroughly. A few months before that call from my mom, a former high school classmate, Jenna, had reached out to me. She wanted help building a campaign for her nonprofit. During our catch-up, she casually mentioned, you know Adam and Lily moved back into town, right? Your brother works with Adam now. Small world, huh? Adam and Ethan, same company, same firm. That little fact stuck in my brain like a thumbtack. Curiosity got the better of me. One weekend, I dug a little. Everything I found about Adam's company screamed. Shiny on the outside, rotten underneath, shady contracts, overpromised results. Too many limited liability shells and not enough ethics. More interestingly, I discovered that that same company had been quietly using some of my agency's public-facing tools, copycats of my systems, mimicking my strategies in a very familiar way. They had stolen my clients' playbook formats, even some of my phrasing. And then, in one late-night research rabbit hole, I saw a name on a contract, co-signer, Michael Carter. My dad, he had co-signed a business loan for Adam's company. A big one. The kind of loan that could take your house down with it if things went wrong. So my parents had no money to help me 5 years ago, but they had enough to back Adam. That was the night my pain crystallized into something colder, sharper, and much more focused. I didn't destroy them. I didn't hack anything or fabricate evidence. All I did was step back and let the truth walk into the light. With a little nudge, the night of the engagement dinner, I pulled up to my parents' house in a simple, elegant black dress and low heels. Nothing flashy. I carried a small envelope in my purse and my phone in my hand. The house looked the same: white siding, blue shutters, the rose bushes my mom pretended to tend but always hired someone for. But I felt different walking up to that front door. I rang the bell. My mom opened it, already in hostess mode, wearing a pale pink dress and a strained smile. "Stella," she said, like the word tasted unfamiliar. Her eyes flicked over me, checking my hair, my clothes, like she was grading me. "You look decent." "Hi, Mom," I said lightly. "Thanks for inviting me." "Out of pity, right?" She flushed. "Don't twist my words. Come in. And remember what I said, don't stay long. We don't want any scenes tonight." I just smiled. "Of course. I'm just here to celebrate." The hallway was full of voices and laughter. I stepped into the dining room and felt all the eyes turn toward me. There was my dad at the head of the table, raising a glass. There was Ethan, my brother, handsome in a navy blazer, his new fiancée Emily beside him, glowing. There was Adam, sitting mid-table, wearing an expensive watch he absolutely could not afford on his official salary. And there, next to him, was Lily. She looked older, not in a bad way, just less carefree, more brittle around the edges. Our eyes met across the room. "Stella," my dad said stiffly. "You made it." "Hi, Dad," I replied. "Hi, Ethan. Congratulations." Emily smiled warmly. "I've heard a lot about you. Hopefully some of it was nice," I said, and she laughed awkwardly. I took a seat at the far end of the table. My mom started serving. The conversation picked back up, but I could feel the undercurrent of tension wrapping around me like a second tablecloth. At one point, Lily cleared her throat. "Hey, Stella," she said. "It's been a while." I looked at her, expression neutral. "It has." She tucked her hair behind her ear. "You look good." "You too," I replied. Adam gave me a tight nod. "Stell." Hearing him say my nickname felt wrong now, like it belonged to someone who no longer existed. We made small talk. Ethan talked about his big promotion coming up. He and Adam were apparently killing it on a major client. My parents beamed at him the way they never did at me. "We're so proud of him," my mom said loudly, glancing at me. "Imagine, our son, helping lead one of the firm's biggest accounts." My dad chuckled. "Not everyone has that kind of drive." I sipped my water. "Yeah, not everyone." About halfway through dinner, my dad clinked his glass. "Everyone," he said, standing. "I'd like to make a toast." He talked about Ethan's bright future, about family, about how proud he was to see his children finding their place in the world. I listened quietly, feeling my pulse slow instead of speed up. When he sat down, Emily nudged Ethan. "You should say something too." Ethan grinned, stood, and started thanking everyone. I noticed his hands were shaking just a little. As he spoke, my phone buzzed in my lap. A message. "It's live." I pressed the side button to mute it. The little nudge had been pushed. Ethan finished his speech, and everyone clapped. Then my mom looked at me. "Stella," she said, forced brightness in her voice. "Do you want to say something? It's been so long since we've all been together." There was an edge to it. A dare. I set my napkin down carefully and stood up. "Sure," I said. "I'll keep it short. You don't want me to stay long after all." My mother's smile flickered. I turned slightly, so I could see everyone. "I just want to say that I'm glad I came," I began. "It's nice to see everyone doing so well." "Ethan, congrats on your engagement." "Emily, you seem wonderful." "I mean that." Emily smiled cautiously. "And Adam," I continued, my tone polite, "it's impressive, what you've built. A whole company, big clients, investors, risky expansions." His brows furrowed. Thanks." "And Lily," I said, meeting her eyes, "I'm sure you've been a huge support through all of it." She swallowed. I try. I let a beat pass. "You know," I said lightly, "it's funny how things work out. 5 years ago, I left this house with nothing. No savings, no support. My parents emptied out the account in my name to help someone with more potential." My mom stiffened. "Stella, This is not the time, but it's okay. I cut in gently. Because that's when I realized I had to become my own safety net. I started my own agency, learned how to research, learned how to protect people's reputations. And sometimes I smiled faintly, how to let the truth take care of itself. Ethan frowned. What are you talking about? I looked at him. Did you know, Ethan, that your big client Falcon Ridge Holdings is currently reviewing all of its partnerships? He blinked. What? Specifically, I continued. They're looking very closely at companies that misrepresented their numbers on their pitch decks and loan applications. My dad shifted in his seat. Stella. I ignored him. Adam's face had gone pale. You've been overpromising returns based on projections you cannot sustain, I said softly. Padding your numbers. Hiding debt behind shell corporations. All technically findable. If someone cared to look, how would you know that? Adam snapped, voice tight. Public records, I said simply. Loan filings, contracts, reviews. I don't have to dig that deep to see the cracks. Lily's hands were clenched in her lap. Stella, what are you doing? I looked at her, and for a moment, the hurt 5 years younger me flashed behind my ribcage. Remember when you told me you connected with Adam? I asked quietly. When you crawled into my boyfriend's bed and then into my parents' hearts. Stella, enough. My mom hissed. No, I said, and my voice didn't shake this time. Not enough. Not yet. I turned back to the table at large. This family took everything I had saved and gave it to someone else because they thought I didn't need it. This family invited the people who betrayed me into our home and called me dramatic for being hurt. And now, the same people have again tied themselves to someone who isn't what he pretends to be. My dad slammed his hand on the table. If you're trying to destroy your brother's night, I'm not destroying anything, I said evenly. I'm just telling you that Falcon Ridge received an anonymous packet this evening. No lies, no fabricated evidence. Just copies of public documents, side by side. Your numbers next to reality. Your loans next to your actual assets. Adam shot to his feet. You had no right, I didn't have to, I replied. Because Falcon Ridge has its own compliance team. All I did was show them where to look. What they do with it, that's up to them. My phone buzzed again. Adam's phone dinged at the same time. Then another tone from my dad's phone, and one more from Ethan's. They all looked down. I watched as Adam's face strained. Then my dad's, then Ethan's. What is it? My mom demanded. My dad's voice was hoarse. The loan we co-signed. The bank, they're reevaluating. They might call it in. Ethan looked horrified. Dad, that's the house. Adam's hands were shaking. It's just a scare tactic. They can, I said softly. If they decide there's been misrepresentation, they absolutely can. You should know that. You signed it. My mom stared at me, eyes wide. You're trying to ruin us, she whispered. I met her gaze. No, I said. You ruined me and I survived. This is just consequences arriving on time. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Lily pushed her chair back, her voice trembling. Adam, is this true? She asked. Did you lie on the forms? Are we going to lose everything? Adam refused to look at her. We'll fix it. I'll talk to them. How? I asked quietly. By promising more you can't deliver? By leaning on my father's credit until he has nothing left? My dad looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. Why? He demanded. Why would you do this to your own family? I laughed. A small tired sound. Family? I repeated. You emptied my account for someone you believed in more. You let my ex and ex-best friend sit at this table while acting like I was overreacting to betrayal. You told me I was invited tonight out of pity, like I'm some stray dog you're throwing scraps to. That's not family. That's convenience. My mom's mouth opened and closed. No words came out. I looked at Ethan and Emily. Emily, I said quietly, I'm sorry your night turned into this. You seem kind. I hope you think very carefully about who you tie yourself to financially. Not emotionally, I have no say there. But financially? Look very closely. Her face was pale. She nodded slowly. I straightened my dress, picked up my clutch, and stepped back from the table. Don't worry, I said. I won't stay long. You didn't invite me for that anyway. I turned to leave. Stella, Ethan called after me. I paused in the doorway. He swallowed. Did you do all of this just to hurt us? I thought for a moment. No, I said. I did it so you'd stop hurting other people. What you do next, that's on you. I walked out of the house to the sound of overlapping voices, anger, fear, denial blurring into a distant hum. The night air was cool on my skin. I took a deep breath. For the first time in years, my chest felt light. In the weeks that followed, I didn't stalk them online. I didn't check every update, but some things found their way back to me. Adam's company lost the Falcon Ridge account. The bank gave them a grace period but demanded immediate restructuring. My parents had to sell their second car. The word downsizing began floating around. People might say that was harsh. Maybe it was, but here's what no one ever wants to admit. Revenge doesn't always look like screaming or smashing windows. Sometimes, it looks like letting the truth surface. While you stand there, calm, with your hands clean, my revenge wasn't about watching them suffer. It was about finally stepping out of the role they wrote for me, the quiet, obedient, endlessly forgiving daughter, and becoming the author of my own story. If you've ever been told you were too dramatic, or that your pain didn't matter, I hope you hear this clearly. You are not an extra in someone else's life. You don't have to stay where you're only invited out of pity. And sometimes, walking away and building something of your own is the most powerful revenge of all. If you made it this far into my story, thank you for listening. If you've ever been betrayed by the people closest to you, tell me in the comments. What would you have done in my place? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more stories like this, and the bell turns on notifications so you don't miss the next revenge story. You never know. The next one might sound a little like your own.